2020, the year the world was turned into images from the movie I'm Legend, or even of Chernobyl. It feels like watching an old movie where only a few survived a catastrophic global event. Even some of the wildlife made it back into our cities. A real post-apocalyptic world. As the coronavirus made its way across the world, hard lockdowns were set in place by most countries to try and stop the spread of the virus. It's actually unbelievable to think this is real life. Empty streets, empty beaches, no cars, no people. For most of us, everything we take for granted was gone. You can't go for a run, you can't visit friends or family, you can't go to work, you can't go and watch your favorite sports team. You're confined to your home. As time went by and some lockdowns were lifted, the world tried to figure out how to balance normal lifestyle with social distancing. Some sporting events were able to resume, but with no crowds. Matches seemed like training sessions, with an official result at the end. The feel, the atmosphere, the vibe was gone. The first time I really took notice of the virus was the 10th of January 2020 in the New York Times. It was about the first death in China due to the coronavirus. At that stage there were 41 confirmed cases. At this point, the Chinese Health Commission had no evidence that the virus can spread between humans. Basically 12 months later, the world had close to 83 million confirmed cases, with over 1.8 million deaths. And the heroes they always are, the health workers, the doctors, the scientists all over the world, working tirelessly in their fight against the virus. As the virus made its way from China to the rest of the world, I had one big event for 2020, the Ironman 70.3 in East London, South Africa. Arguably one of the hardest and toughest days of my life. Physically really hard on the body, but mentally I was drained. And I just want to take a minute and share this part with you. Everything started when I got into a 13 degrees freezing sea, something I'm not used to. It basically felt as if I had no wetsuit on. And to someone that's overall not comfortable with open water swimming, these conditions were just pushing my limits. As I struggled to take proper breaths and gasping for air the whole time, the thought of quitting was starting to overrun all my thoughts. Taking the easy way out was, at that stage, winning the battle. I just could not see myself finishing that swim, and if I managed to make it back to the beach 1.9 kilometers later, I had to be there within 1 hour and 10 minutes, which is the cutoff time for the swim. At one stage, after clinging onto yet another canoe to get my breath back, try and get rid of the cramps, and just rest, emotions really got to me. I started tearing up under my swim goggles. I just could not bear the freezing water anymore. My calves were cramped up and I couldn't get it out, and the demons were winning. As the lifeguard in the canoe signaled one of the rescue boats over to get me out of the water, I knew that is it. That was a moment of truth. It was at that moment I realized that the next decision I make is going to make me forever stronger or haunt me for the rest of my life. As a really strong family, we live by the motto to never give up, to never quit. The thought of letting them down, letting myself down, got me to the decision I made. Let go of the canoe and finish the damn swim. Stroke for stroke, breath for breath, I struggled onwards. I fought with the demons in my head, all the negativity, and tried to fill it with images of my family. I thought of my parents, sitting at home, follow me on the tracker app, waiting for news from my sister, and hating every moment of the swim. I was thinking of my two real-life heroes, my brother and my sister. My brother, multiple Ironman and marathon finisher, tracking me from Houston in the US. One of the reasons I got into the sport. My sister, always my support crew at big events, one that will always listen, help, no matter when or where. The one with a tough job of keeping the family informed via cell on my progress during an event. I just could not let them down. I just couldn't. With about 500 meters to go, I knew if I kept my thoughts positive, I would finish the swim. But I knew I had to put in extra effort to make the cut. I reached the timing match on the beach in a time of 1 hour and 8 minutes. 2 minutes to spare. And as I ran past my sister to the transition area before the bike leg, I could hear her yelling, "Good job, Jannie. You've got this." And I just knew, with all the cramps and issues with the swim, there's no way I will not finish that event. It was my family who got me through that event. No two things about it.
Good job, Jannie! Good job!
Three weeks ago, my full Ironman in Port Elizabeth, South Africa, was rescheduled for the third time. If everything in the world settles down, which I believe will be the case, the event will take place on the 21st of November 2021. For the next few months I will just try and keep my fitness levels up, so that I don't have to start from scratch again. But at the moment, I have no idea what my next event will be. That swim in my half Ironman in East London was one of the deepest, darkest and loneliest places I've ever been. But I found the comfort of my family during that swim and the will to keep going. The same as the millions of people who lost their jobs, lost loved ones during this pandemic. I sincerely hope that 2021 can bring you the health, peace and joy you deserve, the will to keep going and to never give up.